This thing just looks glorious. I am looking forward to this. All right, let us launch and hope for the best. So far, so good. So these boosters are gonna get us quite far from the looks of it. I was expecting a bit more resistance here. Now, you'll see that the fairing is gonna do a very good job of keeping us aerodynamic, which means that as we get faster and we start reaching the velocity where the amount of atmosphere that we're going through is going to cause turbulence, like right about here, then it should keep us stable enough that we don't really have to worry too much about it. We are a very long craft, so when I start my gravity turn, I'm going to have to watch out for that. So I'm probably going to have to start it quite a bit higher than I normally would. Although this thing does look quite glorious. I like the procedural fairings mod because it makes everything look more like a spaceship, right? And of course, I think that the Kerbals appreciate having fairings too. Oh, come on. So I totally know that I said that I was going to be like, oh, we're going to make sure that I'm not going to try to restart so much in this one. But that was just ridiculous. So I am going to make sure that this is working functionally here. So I'm just going to put 2 of those on like so. And that should propel it away. So those, where are they? Right there. I need that with the decouplers. Now we tested them out. We know it works. So let's save and let's go. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully it'll work. So the idea is that it'll decouple and then it will launch it away. So that's why I put them at the top. So that way it kind of boosts it up and out. You know, like almost at like an angle. So it boosts it away from the craft. The danger here, obviously, is if it's too high up on the craft, the bottom of it's going to turn in and smack the ship. So we got to be kind of careful with that. However, I think it'll work. I don't really see the problem here. I think the only thing I really have to worry about now is re-entry and the craft breaking apart. But it's making me a little nervous. We'll see if this actually is going to work. But those effects, man, it's pretty cool. All right, don't fail me now. Perfect. Love it. That was absolutely perfect. That was, oh man, that was beautiful to watch. That was, you know, to behold something of that caliber. I don't know, guys. That was amazing. Also, don't you start spinning. Don't you start spinning. Don't you start spinning. Oh, gosh. Got it. Nailed it. Perfect. That was almost bad. And we are way high as far as that is concerned. So let's turn our engines off. We're going to go up a bit. And then we're going to boost horizontally here on the horizon. I probably should have gone with a polar orbit. That probably would have been a lot better. Because what that would have allowed us to do is land on the pole, gathered a ton of science, and gone that way. But, whoa! Whoa! Oh, that's because I'm boosted up. We're just going to do it again. Let's do a polar orbit. I don't want to mess with trying to salvage that thing spinning into death. Are you ready to witness the beauty yet again? I'm going to zoom out for it just to really get the full details here. Glorious. Gotta love it. All right, we're going to begin our gravity turn, but we're going to do... Oh no, stop the engine. Okay, we really just need to recover. Okay. We want to point north. That's good. That's what I was talking about with it being kind of a long craft, is you start boosting and turning at the same time, and it tends to flip. But we should be fine. We are going polar, and we have a lot of height here to work with. So I think what we're going to do is probably just push it towards the north a bit more, towards the horizon on the compass. And how high are we? 136,000. That's more than enough. We only need to be going 2,000 or about 2,200 meters per second in order to get an orbit going. So let's get to our apoapsis, and then we'll continue our burn. Doing it a bit early, but it should function properly here. Yeah, that's going much quicker. So basically, to I guess dumb down the physics of it, you're moving at a slower pace because you're reaching the maximum height of what you would be before you start falling back to the planet. So because you're moving at a slower pace, it is a bit easier to boost on a horizontal plane, you know, with the planet, or in this case, up to the vertical horizon of it. Oh, we really need to get rid of that. And it allows you to actually kind of get a bit more oomph, and it uses a lot less fuel because you're not compensating by slowing down your vertical speed, you know, going straight up and down and causing it to go, you know, across the horizon here. So it's just more fuel efficient, basically, to do something like that. We should get an orbit, no problem. We have a lot of fuel, and we're using one of the little engines, but like I said, it should not be a problem. Here comes our very first orbit. It's going to be amazing. The first time any of our Kerbals have orbited Kerbin. It's a big moment here. It's a very big moment. All right, now we just need a stable orbit. Almost there. And that's good. Perfect. Should we fly around a couple times? I think we should. I think our Kerbal really just needs to experience outer space for a while. This is good science here, basically. So we'll get to our apoapsis, and yeah, we'll land on the North Pole. We'll get to our apoapsis. What we'll do is we will then do a retrograde burn. We'll slow ourselves down a bit, and we'll kind of make it so our periapsis just kisses the planet, and that should be more than enough. Also, we got a ton of funds and everything because of the fact that we managed that. So let's do a few things here. We obviously have our craft in here, and we need to get into our retrograde burn beforehand. So I wonder if I can do this. Can I? Ooh. Can I click on that? Can I observe the materials bay? I can. Now, I kind of want to be able to click on... No, okay, that's the middle of our ship. And is that our command pod? No. Okay, that's the other science bay. That should be our command pod, yes. So we're going to crew report. We're going to take that. Actually, we could probably transmit it, but we're just going to keep it for the time being. Cool, so now that we have that, we can actually just turn off SAS for the time being. Don't really need it. And let's go... Actually, should we land on the South Pole? How cool would that be? I almost feel like we should. I don't think I've ever landed... I've landed on the North Pole. I don't think I've ever landed on the South Pole. See, now this is... Ooh... I don't know. I think we should just land on the North Pole. Just keep it the same. We're going to land on the North Pole. Let's, while we're speeding up here, actually give it a cool little look as we go above the North Pole and then kind of on the darker side of the planet at the moment. We go underneath towards our apoapsis. Cool. That is very pretty. Like the little cities and everything. All of the Synethians and Naturians down there. I've gotten a bit of criticism saying that sounds very Mass Effect-y, the whole story, but it isn't really. I mean, the two factions were named after the derivatives of the words. So the Naturians believed that they were created in nature, that they came out of nature, therefore the Naturians is a derivative of that, whereas the Synethians believed that they were synthetically made, so they obviously... named themselves after the derivative of synthesis. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. It doesn't sound... I mean, Naturian has the word Turian in it. Yeah, that's Mass Effect-y. And synthesis and all that. Yeah, that's a little bit Mass Effect-y, but for the most part, I don't think it's that Mass Effect-y, and especially the story. I don't think that's Mass Effect inspired at all. Although I wouldn't be Surprised if there is a little bit of influence in there, considering I freaking love that game. Alright, now that we're closing in our apoapsis, let's find retrograde. There it is. Just gonna point directly at it and slow ourselves down a little bit. We want this to be very precise because we don't want to over or undershoot the North Pole here. So we kind of want it in the atmosphere so the atmosphere slows us down enough. Get us, because like right there is the North Pole. So we want to kind of get a little lower, I think. That might be enough, but I don't want to chance it. A little lower. That should be perfect. And that should land us right on the North Pole. Hard to tell. Maybe a little lower. Just be safe. Because you can always kind of come in more ballistic. I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, that'll be great. Cool. Now, I'm going to quick save, just in case something goes wrong here. But now that we've done that, what we can do is... first of all, I'm just going to shut down this engine. I think it would make sense to have it shut down before we have it re-enter, you know, just in case atmospheric stuff. Gotta please the Naturians a little bit. And we're going to completely decouple the back. So there goes that. Now we're going to watch the glorious decoupling of this. Oh, don't lie. So sick. Then we decouple the bit that was attached to. That thing goes launching. Holy cow. I think it actually hit that and forced it into a different descent rate. Now what we could do here is we could do Mystery Gale. We're going to get it. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit. We can review our report. We can send that. That'll be fine. We have plenty of time to do all this. I'm not in any hurry. I want to use one of the science bays and one of the things when we're actually on the pole itself. Let's go ahead and do an EVA report while we're in space here. And can we do another crew report? No, we'll just wait until we land, it seems. Cool, so let's... How much power we have? We have a lot of electricity because of all the stuff in here. Now, you might notice that you can open these bay doors remotely. There are a few storage mods that don't allow you to do that. I like it because there's sometimes, well, you know, I'll have science stuff in the larger ones, and I want to be able just to open it, do the science stuff, and close it again, so... That's the reason why I really like this mod over some of the other storage ones. However, let's kind of speed up the process here and get ready for re-entry. Now remember, we're going to try to land on the North Pole, in the ice. And this is when it starts getting a little sketchy, because it's kind of hard to see sometimes as you're coming in. And we're going to see the Aurora Borealis as we come in too, which is a pretty cool effect that was added with one of the mods that I have. And like I said previously, we're going to be a little bit ballistic. And I'm kind of okay with that. I think I can pull my chutes a lot later than I normally would. Because this is kind of a small craft, it'll slow down a lot. And in fact, coming into the atmosphere itself will probably slow us down quite a bit as well. I mean, we're at 42,000 meters. And we are slowing, not rapidly, but we will be. We may miss the North Pole. We may end up landing about right here. So let's speed it up a little bit more. I don't know about that. It's going to be close. Yeah, there goes the slowing process. I think we'll be fine. I'm going to put us back on normal speed, go back in. Oh, look at that. That looks really wonky when you're not actually on the North Pole. It looks kind of broken. We'll fix it. Now, I want to be careful when I'm flipping the craft around because I don't want it to death spin. Actually, you know what? It may be better to come in at on a point like this. The one thing I'm concerned about, though, is the craft actually ripping itself in half. So if I can get out of the burning thing here and then flip myself around, that'll probably be best. So let's plan for that. Although the Aurora Borealis looks kind of... Ooh, that was kind of a cool shot of the moon. We don't really get to see a... I guess a polar shot from Kerbal on the moon. Alright, is this going to allow me to rotate? Not yet. I really want to go in retrograde and not prograde, which is the direction we're facing now. Okay, it's kind of letting me wobble a bit more. I'm only at 14,000 meters. I'm still going really fast here. I think it's better just to pull my chutes. I want a quick save just in case. Here we go. Okay, we haven't ripped ourselves apart. I'm gonna turn SAS off. So far, so good. We're kind of like a like a spear going straight into the planet, though. I really hope that it does rotate us around. It's going to be difficult because these are positioned on the bottom, and I was afraid of this. Because they're positioned on the bottom, it's going to make it very difficult for the craft to want to flip, because most of the stopping power is actually coming from the opposite side. Ooh, we lost something there. Not sure what that was, to be perfectly honest, but there it goes. It's debris. Come on. Just flip us a little bit. Just one time. Oh, maybe with SAS. Maybe. Almost there. Almost got it. Okay, one more time. One more. Oh, come on. Like a swing. Oh, we did it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, come on. Okay. 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 We got this. Just, whoa. Okay, one more. Almost got it. Almost got it. It's really difficult to do this, actually. This is going to slow us down real fast here. We do not want to be spinning when it happens. Okay, I'm just going to have to let it do its thing. Here comes the open. Okay, cool. Now, am I going to be able to rotate myself enough? Maybe not. It's kind of scary, actually. I'm not going to be landing on my landing gear. I should have put parachutes more at the top. Should have done it. This is a bit of a risk. We're going to land sideways. And I don't know if everything will stay together. Well, I guess that's a risk when you put more parachutes on the bottom than you do at the top. Let this be a lesson to everybody who designs a craft in Kerbal. All right. Moment of truth. Don't blow up. Don't blow up. Don't blow. Nailed it. All right. Let's observe this. Good. Yeah, we'll take that. Cool. Observe. Cool. Nice. Keep data. Can I actually, curious. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's crew report. Cool. We'll take that. I'm going to EVA. I got to let go. Do a bit of walking here. And we're going to EVA report. Oops, didn't want to transmit. But we'll take the surface sample. Cool. EVA report. Yes, just to keep data. Now that we're actually on the... Oh, that's a cool shot right there. What if we... Oh, yeah. So we have the little bit of our craft that did not quite land properly. We've got the moon, and we have the Aurora Borealis. That's cool. I like that a lot. Well, let's see if we can get back in. Oh, almost made it. Maybe if I go straight on from the top. And I can recover it anyways, but I like to recover it all at once. Nope. I think I do have to go from the side. In fact. Oh, I almost made it that one time. Maybe a running jump. Okay. Whew. It's like Tomb Raider up in the air. Didn't really work, did it? All right. We'll recover it separately. That's fine. I'm a little surprised that things didn't just explode. But, I mean, you gotta give credit to the Kerbals and their ability to create very sturdy crafts, I feel. Nice. We're now at 111 science, so let's back out of here. Let's go into the science area. Like so. Let's see what we can get. So we have over 100. We have a lot of options here. We can get a lot of stuff out of this. We can get solar panels, which may very well be what we get. What's all in here? Okay, I feel like we should get solar panels, right? Because that kind of puts us in a better position to launch probes. And now that we have that, we can actually make probes and send them out. Also, let's see what we got here. So we have explore the moon. We want to accept that. We're going to leave these all here. Rescue. Okay, so there's a Kerbal in the orbit of Kerbin, which obviously there was something going on to get him up there. Maybe there were simultaneous launches, you know, like whilst I was doing that launch with the polar stuff, they launched another Kerbal up to try something else, and he just happened to get stuck up there. Yeah, while cleaning up after a pretty crash landing. After a pretty crash landing is a really weird way to phrase that. A visitor passing by C7. Yeah. So basically, he got stuck in orbit. So he was the second one. He was the backup plan. They sent him after our thing. They didn't trust us, but we got it done. We're also not going to test any of this gear or anything. I don't feel like there's a reason to. But what should we do? Now that we can actually make a probe, I think we should potentially send a probe around the moon and back and get us a bit more science. I think that's what we want to do. We have a lot of different things that we can attach now. Like we have a ton of little lights, which is pretty cool. But for the most part, yeah, like this. It's a hydrogen block. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need the fuel cell. Although, you know, that has a lot of hydrogen and oxygen in it. It doesn't have a lot of water. But there are things for... Oops, where'd it go? So I have this hard drive, so I can basically send the probe up, send a hard drive with it, and it can store a lot of that data. So I think that's what we'll do. Let's make a probe. Heck yeah.